welcome back to the channel. Whoa.
No, big off jacket. You're mad. Don't get me mad. That's the intro.
Jacket. Is it really?
Big off jacket.
Right.
Done now.
Obviously, we don't say the F word, so we've got to use an alternative.
I didn't say F word.
No, that's what I'm saying. We don't say the F word.
Big off jacket. You're done now. Hold tight, everyone locked in. Listen.
Oh my God.
I just thought that it was appropriate.
Yeah, God. You explain to them.
Big off jacket, yeah, because I saw the jacket. I was like, I want one, and I'm gonna get Nissy one too.
Yeah.
And we're gonna wear it. And when we wear it, people will look at us because it's a purple jacket.
Yeah, it's a really nice colour.
And it's a big off long line one as well.
Yeah, it's a long line, really nice, and it's from the men's section, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, men always have better jackets than women.
Yes,
it's so irritating. But anyway, we are not even going to ramble on for too long. We're gonna get straight into it. So this is not actually, because I don't think it's gonna make any sense because of the introduction, the other one. This was meant to be the first video of 2020, but we decided on the other one being the first video of 2020, hence the introduction. So this is, let's say, a first video 1.1 or 2.0, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, we are here to talk to you guys today about preparing, getting yourself ready for 2020 and how you can really make sure that you are ready to have one of the best years of your life.
Point one, let me flow.
Okay, go.
Point one, listen.
Boom.
It's very important. Boom, listen. It's like this, yeah?
In what?
Important.
Oh, okay.
You guys said?
I don't know, but it sounded like it was going to come outside of this.
It's very important that you put on paper the goals you want to achieve.
Yes.
However, these goals that you write down on paper have to be, is the word smart?
What do you mean? Smart
goals. No, there's a word. Anyway, what I'm trying to say, the goals have to, specific, measured, smart.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
Anyway, people will know. People will comment they'll know what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is essentially make sure that your goals are specific.
Right.
You can measure them.
Yeah.
You can chart them. I don't know what it is. You can chart it, and basically you can break it down into smaller goals. Okay. Because let's say, okay, cool. You want to buy a house in 2020. Okay.
Right.
What are the steps that you're going to take to actually buy the house?
Right.
If you're gonna, if in the previous year you wanted to buy a house and you wrote it down on paper and you didn't achieve it, it obviously shows that there were things there's steps missing that you didn't do in order to be able to get that result. So you need to make these goals more specific. They need to be broken down. You need to be able to measure yourself. So from Jan to March, those 3 months there, what did you do in order to get get to that goal? A lot of people complain about not achieving goals. You weren't measuring the goals in the first place. You wrote it down, but you didn't action them.
Oh my gosh, that goes into my point. Yeah, cool.
Go on.
No, I was just gonna say that is so perfect, because one of the first things that I was thinking in my head as well is the importance of writing things down. Anyone that knows me, even from those, like even Christina, she always used to laugh at me because
a real OG.
A real OG. She's been my friend. We've been friends for over 10 years now. She's been my friend since we were in year 7, guys. Literally seen everything. She always used to kind of like laugh at me because I have always been that person that I write everything down. We used to have planners, so when you're in school and you have planners that break down your schedule, break down your day-to-day. It's so annoying, but you're breaking the flow.
You used to have planners, go on.
Yes, and so I was always that person. I could not go a day without my planner. I always had to have my planner on me. I always had to write things down, and it's a habit that I've now taken on into my adulthood, which has been amazing.
From kidulthood to adulthood.
Literally, from kidulthood to adulthood. I know.
From kidulthood to adulthood. I know. Now I must act like an adult would. React like an adult should. I know.
Now I must act
like an adult would.
React like an adult should.
Hey.
I've got to break the cycle, because if I go end up dead, then it's my fault.
Oh, gee.
Flow.
I think it's the jackets that's making us feel like this. I don't know what's going on, but anyway.
Flow.
Oh, I just love him. Anyway, so back to what we were saying. Writing things down, guys, is so important, because sometimes your brain can be going at 5,000 miles an hour, which is exactly like me. I'm a creative, so my brain, I always have new ideas, new visions, new things. Like God is always dropping new seeds in my heart, and I'm like, oh, if I don't write it down and I don't plan ahead, it becomes like that. Basically, like it doesn't make any sense. So I write things down, and then connected to what you were talking about in terms of being able to measure. Shush. I can't even be mad at him. He's just so cute. As I was trying to say, so the thing about measuring and all of that good stuff is something that I actually do, and this should be able to help you throughout your 2020 as well. I started it in 2019 and it really helped me. So sometimes, you know, you have your big goals, yeah, and you're like, yeah, you want to buy a house in 2020. Sometimes what happens is that the goals are so big that either it gets so overwhelming that you leave it to the bottom of your list and you try to, like, I guess push it back, or you procrastinate, or you have set yourself that goal, but because of other things that have happened and 5 million things going in life, you get to December the 31st and then you're like, oh crap, I didn't actually hit that goal. So something that I actually did for 2019, and it's not perfect, I didn't follow it to the T, there's still things that I wish I said that I was going to do at a period of time and it didn't happen, which is okay, don't kill yourself, but I split up my year into quarters. So it was like I had my goals for the whole of 2019, and then between January and March I had certain goals. So I took those goals and then I split them up so that it could fit across the year, so that I knew what I was focusing on at different parts of the year. Just like this morning I had our kind of like end of year conversation with my PA, and I said to her, this is what some of the stuff that I want us to do for the first half of the year, then the next half will focus on that, and then when we have our meeting, which we plan for next week, by the time you would have seen this, we would have had our meeting, but we're gonna break down every quarter, because then that means that it's easier, rather than seeing all these, like, let's say you have 10 big goals, rather than seeing these 10 big goals and being quite overwhelmed by them, you actually see that, okay, you've now split them up into smaller sections that can help you to focus on specific things at a specific time.
Found them.
What happened?
Smart goals.
Okay.
A smart goal is specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, and it's time-based.
I like the time-based.
So just to break it down for you a bit more.
Right.
So if it's specific, the goal is direct, it's detailed, and it's meaningful. If it's measurable, obviously you can track progress or success or failure, or not failure, or lesson. Attainable, your goal is realistic and you have the tools and all the resources to attain it. Relevant, your goal aligns with your company mission or your own mission that you have.
That's so good.
Time-based, your goal has a deadline.
Yes.
When something does not have a deadline, you will procrastinate like no tomorrow.
Right.
That's why a lot of people say that they work better under pressure, is because they know that there's a deadline coming, so they have no choice but to work.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that you work better under pressure,
right,
it's that you don't usually set yourself time-based goals.
100%, and that's what I was saying before about when you just say this is my goal for 2020, it could be December 31st before you actually get it done, rather than if you say, okay, by March this has to be done, you actually take out the time to do it because it will come quicker, you know.
Point 2.
Anyway, point 2, preparing for a great 2020 is surround yourself with the right people. I don't think people understand how much of an influence being surrounded by the right minds has, or how much of a difference it can make to your life and to your goals. A lot of people always ask me, like, how do I stay so positive and motivated and basically stay at a place of just like motivation? And for me, it's because I'm surrounded by people who also have the same mindset. Now, we're not all the same, we don't all have the same goals. I have some friends who just work a 9 to 5 and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I have some friends who, have different goals to me, but they all have a very similar mindset, i.e., if they see me just kind of sitting there doing nothing, they'll be like, Nissy, what's wrong with you? Get up, what are you doing? I have Ben over here who, in the previous video I spoke about how you're a visionary, you're a pioneer, you're a go-getter, and I love that because I'm exactly the same. And the fact that I know for a fact that if you just saw me like slacking, you'd be like, Nissy, come on, get it together.
We've got
just
bills to pay.
Trust me, we've got things to do. Just like if I see Ben slacking, I'll be like, all right, babe, come on, we got it, get it together. You can have your moment to take a break. Straight after that, we get back on it.
Just to add on to it a little bit. So what I would say is, if you're someone who, because it's very easy to get comfortable in a setting whereby you're known as like the leader of the pack, or you're the person that people look to, you don't want to be in a situation like that for too long because you get comfortable, you 100%. Get stagnant. You want to be in a circle whereby you're drowning. Place yourself in a group whereby you are drowning, because if you are drowning and these people are people who are prosperous, these are people who are motivated, these are people that are successful. If you're drowning in a pool of success, you are successful. However, if you have stopped moving in a pool of dead weight anyway, then you're just dead weight anyway. The principle of it is that if you set a big goal and you don't achieve it, then you've still achieved something big. So let's say if you set a goal to save £1 million, but you miss £1 million, you might save 800,000 or £500,000.
Yeah.
However, if you set a goal to save £100 and you miss it, you've only saved, you might save 50.
There's a quote that says if you aim for the moon, because you might just hit the stars or something like that. But yeah, surrounding yourself with the right people, and then you might be sitting there and saying, but how? I've got certain friends that I've had for a very long time, and they just are not go-getters like that. They don't have that big mindset. Or I do have, or even family members. Sometimes it's family members, those family members that always have something to say about your dreams and your vision. Thank God we have amazing family who are always like, go and get it, you can do it. But I know that a lot of people don't have
Even
that.
if you didn't have good family members, I don't think that should be a reason.
It shouldn't be a reason.
So what I would say is that comes down to you as an individual.
Yeah.
How much do you want to achieve that goal?
Right.
How much do you want to succeed? Are you going to let someone just speaking, whether family or friend, be the person that stops you from your destiny?
Yeah.
If that's so, then you didn't really want it that much in the first place.
It's true.
Forget excuses, man.
Yeah, it's true. No excuses. Don't listen to what other people are saying to you, especially those that try to limit you or put you in a box. Don't listen to them. And if you are somebody that's like, how do I find these new people? I would say put yourself in new spaces and new environments. You attract the people that are in your vicinity, basically. So if you know that you are constantly around people who have low goals, low self-esteem, they're always talking about the same old crap, rather gossip about everyone rather than actually talking about, so what's the business plan? What's the hustle for next year? What we doing? What we working on? You need to go to more events or more whatever and actively go and find those people. Again, don't complain, do something about it.
Yeah. Well, one thing I think that aggravates me to the core is that we live in a generation where we want to ask. Just do something.
Just do
something new.
Please.
Via doing that something new, you will see something new that happens. You will experience something new.
Yeah.
You will meet someone new.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like I guess even with Nissy. Let me use Nissy as an example. She has a lot of people who ask her things such as, how did you start YouTube? She just started it. And they're like, no, there is no, she just started.
There is no big answer.
Once you begin something, it will flow. However, a lot of people are scared to be in an uncomfortable place, so they never start. They just ask. Do.
Yes.
Do. This is the year of doing.
I love that year of doing. It's to you.
Back to me. When it comes to balance, please, you people who are, let me be tough. Ooh. You people who are wanting a balance in 2020, you've already failed. Oh. There is no such thing as balance. What there is known as when you're working, work. Distractions. What I do usually, so I do this a lot during the week where I just delete my Instagram and stuff. My Instagram, my Snapchat and Twitter. It's just deleted. So people will be messaging me, I'm like, I didn't see it, it was off my phone. The reason being because it's hard. It's not hard. It's so bad that you could be idle doing nothing, and then you just flick up your phone and you go straight to social media just to flick through. And not that social media is bad, but you're flicking through doing nothing. You're just going up, scrolling, and it's a waste of time when you could have done something with that time. So when you're working, work. When people call me now, even Nissy, even my mom, they know when I'm working, I'm working. The conversation has to be short, brief, to the point, so I can get back to work. And then when you're relaxing, relax. When you're relaxing, relax. When you're spending time with your family, spend time with your family. Because if you don't learn how to switch off or switch on, you will go crazy. Your mind needs rest. You're not a robot, you're not a machine. When you're working, work as hard as you can. When you're resting, rest as much as you can.
That is balance though. In your own way, that is balance. No,
because people look for a perfect work-life balance. There is no perfect work-life balance. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that there is,
balance,
to be honest.
When people talk about balance, they're talking more about equality.
They're talking about equilibrium. Like, it's literally going to be like this. And I had a conversation actually with someone, with a guy who actually sold a company. He's working with one of my clients, and he was literally like, I was like, but it's great because now it seems like you have that balance. And he actually said that. That was recent, that's what the Christmas party thing. He was like, to be honest, there isn't a balance. There's just finding a way to make things work depending on where you are and what stage you're at. Point 4, preparing yourself for an amazing 2020 is, I would say this, and I've spoken about it a lot in previous videos, but again, I think it's very, very relevant. The importance of re-evaluating and shifting, or not being afraid to shift or change things. I think a lot of people are afraid or scared of getting things wrong, and that's why a lot of people don't even get started. If I even tell you the story, for example, of my journey with BEBB, which stands for Be Educated, Be Bold, as in, guys, I did a whole thing for it. I registered it as a business, as a company. I did a whole event. You even sent me the video literally the other day with like so many people that came. We had over 100 people that came. I did all of these things, but I realized that at the end of it, I was like, this isn't the main thing. And I had to be okay to let my pride be put to the side and say, do you know what? Actually, this is not gonna work for the person that I'm becoming or where I'm going next. And I had to be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna shut this down. But a lot of people are not even willing to try because they're afraid that, oh, but what happens if it doesn't work? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I think that only comes when you allow yourself the space to reevaluate and you allow yourself the space to change. People, we evolve and we change. Something that could have worked in one season or in 1 year or in one part of your life may not work in the next year. I had to be willing to let that go, even though, you know, I put so much effort behind it, I'd done so much work behind it, I had meetings, I did all these different things for it. I came to a point where I had to recognize that this thing is not going to take me to where I need to be in the future. It was a great learning curve for me. Like, I learned so much, because what that then meant is that it was like a stepping stone. When I then came into 2019, I started running the Power Class Masterclasses, everything just clicked quicker and it clicked easier. Okay, cool. So don't forget it, yeah?
Off that.
Oh, off of that. But yeah, it just basically clicked easier. But yeah, don't be afraid to evolve, to change, and to reevaluate. Yeah.
Next point I'd say is...
is it still point 4?
No, it's point 5.
Oh, point 5. Oh,
so it will be to do with pride and humility. So with what you were saying in terms of what worked in one season may not work in the next season.
Right.
So be wise enough to put your pride to the side and let your humility come to the forefront of your being, because doing so you'll be able to pick and learn something or gain something that will allow you to be able to continue moving on forward and progress. Because a lot of the times you have people who have been in the industry for 5, 6, 10 years, so I'm Mr. Know-it-all, I know everything, you know, there's nothing that you can tell me that could benefit me. The reason I'm at the job that I'm at now is because I was humble enough to ask, what do you do? I was humble enough to accept the call. Right. I was humble enough to learn from the people who have already been there. And done it and been successful and seen the fruits. And also part of your success is be humble enough to be able to help those who haven't yet seen the success that you have seen. Yes. Because you don't understand the seed that you birth from doing that. The seed that you birth is nothing but will birth nothing but fruit. Because if you're able to give someone information and that person is successful as a result of that information, then you are a success already. And if you can replicate that with multiple people, then it goes from being a mission where you was on your own to a mission where you're with multiple people now. Potentially. So pride, humility, very key.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I think we're gonna come to the end anyway. I'll probably give one more in terms of just setting yourself up to have an amazing 2020. And I would definitely say
I've got one more actually.
Yeah, you do? Okay, well we can keep going anyway. But yeah, this is my very, very last one. Oh, I forgot it. Yeah, sorry, I've forgotten mine. So I'm gonna let you go.
My next point is cut out the excuses. Yeah, is that it?
It was basically something along those lines, like feel the fear and do it anyway. But yeah, go on.
So cut out the excuses. Yeah. If it didn't work, then you've just taught yourself a way of how not to do it. How not to do it. Yeah. So it's like the whole story of the light bulb. Who's the guy who done the light bulb?
Not Einstein, the other one.
Anyway, the light bulb. The guy who made the light bulb.
Edison, I think.
One of them.
He was.
He found 100 ways to not make a light bulb work.
Right.
Yeah, so it wasn't that he failed. So my thing is cut out excuses. If you wanted to do something and it didn't work, then you've just learned how not to do it.
Right.
Continue moving, continue moving, continue moving.
Right.
Even if you're crawling, even if you're hopping, limping, continue to move.
Right.
Stop making excuses. If something doesn't work out in your favor, then it wasn't meant for you. If it was meant for you, it will work out. Yeah.
I love it. And we're very excuses, yeah. I think that's something, especially when it comes to our kids, like that's something we're gonna install from them from young.
Don't want excuses.
Don't give me any excuses. And do you know that's how I talk to my team? I'm like, don't give me any excuses or why you can't do something. So when we first had our first meeting, I had to establish some rules. There's certain language that we don't use. For example, the B word, which is BROKE, we don't use that term. And then also in terms of excuses, I don't want to hear, oh, I can't do this because I can't do that. No, I believe in solutions. Give me a solution. Okay, you might say that this didn't happen that way, but I found a solution for it. We just don't play with excuses. That's why what?
That's why a lot of people have bad friends. Because you have an issue, you go to a friend, and your friend gives you an excuse. They gives you another problem instead of giving you a solution.
Like what are we doing there? So the last point that I'm gonna make, I think we're on like point 6 or 7, one of them anyway.
No, we are on point
7, 6. Are you sure? Anyway, wherever we're at right now, I just wanted to kind of round up with this, right? This year, let 2020 be the year where you feel the fear and do it anyway. I have had so many conversations in 2019 with people who are like, I have this dream and this goal and this is what I want to do and this is what I want to get done. But, and again, it ties in very, very nicely to like the whole excuses thing. Listen, don't let fear cripple you. Don't let fear stop you. The only way that you can overcome it is if you decide to overcome it. I can't keep telling you, or I can't be the person that makes a decision for you. No matter how many times you watch my content, no matter how many times you come and ask me, honestly, how do I do this or how do I do that? I can only go so far with you. You have to make a decision within yourself to say, do you know what? I know this scares me. I know this is something that I've never done before, but I'm going to do it anyway. And like we've said before, even if it doesn't necessarily go the way that you wanted, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You are not going to die. It's okay. Take it on the chin. Say, all right, cool. It didn't work out. No problem. Dust yourself off and carry on. I promise you, 99.9% of the time, people don't even realize. Because a lot of the time, people are worried about, oh, but what if this person sees that? Most of the time, people don't even realize. They don't. They just,
I feel like
whatever.
The saying that I always say to you as well is the whole thing about when you're faced with a problem or when you're faced with a task that's scary, okay, think about the worst case scenario. What's the worst thing that can happen? And think about, okay, the best case scenario. You know, 99 times out of 10, 99 times out of 10, wow, 99 times out of 100, if the worst case scenario, you'll still be alive. Will you still be able to continue? Yes, you'll be able to find another way to do it. So what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Fear is a bad person.
Oh, trust me, fear. We need to kill that spirit, crush it, kill it. From now, say like, listen, I'm not going to allow fear to cripple me.
One thing I want you guys to, when you're watching this video, to do a selfie video of you saying this: fear will not be my portion in the year 2020.
I love it.
Fear will not be my portion
in the year 2020.
And the last thing is, fear will not be my portion in the year 2020 for myself, for my friends, and for my loved ones.
I love that. And please, in fact, you know what? We should like set this up as like a thing. When you do it, put it on like Instagram or on Twitter, whatever it is, and just tag us. Tag us in it. We'll repost it, whatever. And maybe you think that you're just saying it.
The hashtag is fear is not my portion.
We'll think about that hashtag. Yeah, maybe not. Anyway.
Fear not 2020.
Fear not 2020. That sounds like a Bible scripture.
So
anyway, right, put whatever you want. Fear less, fear not, fear whatever. Put whatever it is that you want. The battery's about to die, so we're gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. I'm wishing you all the best in 2020. You're gonna have a fantastic year. Comment in the comment section below about maybe some of your goals. Share what you're looking forward to in 2020. Love you always, guys, and we'll see you guys again in another video. Wait. 3, 2, 1. Stay beautiful.
Show.